Yo, it's crypto blood, Detroit flow, streaming from the D, knowing what to show. Indicators are wrong point, OG since 12, invested in trade, living life like a pro. I'm Rucker, Jerry, and just bloods do. Bad motherfucker in a good way, boo. Got my eyes on the charts, ain't no time to sleep. Get that money, gotta keep it creep. That's why crypto blood, twist the toasters on the line. Stacking my coin, got the market on my mind. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum too. Cash is king, but I'm looking for a new move. I know the culture of the markets like the streets. Got my finger on the pulse, can't nobody beat. I see the trends, I see the flow. Got my strategies in place, you know.
Yo, it's MYBZ on the mic, coming through the mist, talking crypto and privacy things you can't dismiss. YouTube's wild jungle, I'm the lion, can't resist. Guiding through the blockchain, teach about the risk. Mind your biz, don't miss. Eeny, meeny, miny biz, we on the privacy blitz. Except for the myth, dropping knowledge with no tricks. YouTube to the wallet, keep it tight, no leaks. Click clack, I hack the facts, that's how I attack. From Bitcoin to Monero, stacking privacy back. YouTube's got eyes, but I'm the cloak in disguise. NYB on the rise, educating the wise. Mind your biz, don't miss. Eeny, meeny, miny biz, we on the privacy blitz. Except for the myth, dropping knowledge with no tricks. YouTube to the wallet, keep it tight, no leaks.
Rice TVX, the mic's live wire. American Pitbull, real gold buyer. Sound money advocate, rights defender. In the crypto arena, he's the top contender. From the gritty streets of the digital age, Rice lays wisdom, chapter and page. Silver, gold, he sports only the bold. Land, life, and liberty, these values hold. Constitution, deep dive, knowledge revival. Navigate the system, critical for survival. Rights engraved like inscriptions on metal. Pitbull in the game, lead foot on the pedal.
Oh yeah, looks like we are live, ladies and gentlemen. The Three Wise Men. We usually do it on a Wednesday. When we do it, it's been a minute, but we're doing it just like Mind Your Biz said, on Taco Tuesday with the Three Wise Men. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. We are streaming on all three of our very own platforms, so make sure you are sharing or following us. We have links down below in each other's socials. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Rumble, all sorts of places, but we are collaboratively live streaming here together. If you have not taken an opportunity, smash that like button. Let us know that you are glad for the Three Wise Men to be back. We're going to have links down below in all of our video descriptions for each other's X accounts, as you see on screen here, at CryptoBlood_. We also have at MineYour_Biz and at Rice TVX. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here we are.
You need an underscore in your name.
No. Yeah. just to match your underscores.
Yeah.
I'm sorry somebody took your brands.
The original Mind Your Biz got banned.
You know what I mean? Me underscore my
mine got. Yo, that's so crazy. Seth, same thing happened to me. So the guy took he got Crypto Blood, right? Then he tries to sell it to me, and I said, man, if you don't get your ass out of here. So then he comes back around and said, all right, man. I guess he felt bad. He's like, all right, I'll just give it to you. I'm like, all right, cool, thanks. So he gives it to me. Then it gets banned. I'd never used it.
And you could never get it?
No,
okay.
He gave me all the credentials and everything, but then I sat on it, and then next thing I know, I get an email saying I've been banned.
Well, gentlemen, one thing I want to say before we get totally into this stuff, man, I want to just say it is not only good to be back after 6 months. I just put out some videos last week or the week before last with Lynette Zhang and then Tom Luongo and these clips with the Hotep thing. But it's good to be back with you two, my friends, my comrades in this, man. The Three Wise Men. I've missed you guys, and I'm glad that we are here today. And also, as I think we can let people know that we're going to be doing it again tomorrow. So you're going to get a double dose of 3WW because we are going to be coming at you for the FOMC meeting. Because as much as I hate covering these things now, I think this is actually an important one. So
this is
with the reporting requirements changing to 6 months. There's this one's packed. This one's very much loaded.
Okay, we got a lot to talk about, but before we get into all the serious stuff, again, we have links for each other's socials down below. Make sure you subscribe to each other's channels. Make sure you're smashing that like button wherever you're watching. Blood, catch us up on where you've been. Catch me up on where you've been, and then Seth, you can take over after Blood.
Man, I've been spending a lot of time with Bloodalytics, bro. Not to be a shameless plug, but I've done a lot of improvements. I've created a Python script that helps optimize all of my parameters and stuff, and I've been literally spending like 16 17 hours a day working on Bloodalytics. So
I noticed your
website up,
your early morning streams and stuff.
yeah, so streaming the open, well, right after the open at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. I'm going to start doing the show in the evening as well, at least once a week. Shout out to Trade, the House of Trades. He's in the building. He's from MGBX. That's the partner I'll be doing the
How's my phone calling my phone?
Really?
Yeah.
That's strange.
I have a phone. It's saying it's my number is incoming right now. Hold on a second here. I'm not throwing my number. I'm not throwing my number out in public here, but let me see what this thing comes up with. Let me see.
Can you patch it in? Yeah, put it on speaker. This could be fun.
Well, there's no message being left yet. If I try to call myself back because I missed my call to myself, it happened at 3:08 p.m. Like I can just show this right here, which is my number, calling myself. But that's not my number. It just says Rice Baby.
Man, between
and it's showing two missed calls.
Somebody's fucking with you, bro.
It's showing two missed calls. One at 2:48. Hold on here. Let me block my number. One at 2:48 and 3:08. My own number calling me. I did an outgoing call on March 27th. That's the last time I checked my voicemail. Apparently, it was March 27th.
Yeah, man. So, like I said, I've just been Bloodalytics all day, every day. Just getting the room back active on Telegram for the members and doing that, trading and making money and having fun, man.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, I definitely look forward to catching up on your content and seeing what you have going on with Bloodalytics. I will admit that
I'm not doing any. It's all trading, Rice. It's all trading. I'm done with covering blockchain shit because it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, and I justifiably can say that because I've been in it for 13, 14 years now. It's bull. It's just complete vaporware. No one's using it. It's all speculation. So I'm just gonna focus on the speculative aspect of crypto. That's what we're doing.
No, I mean nothing wrong with the trading aspect because that's I think what a lot of people are really watching a lot of the content for. I mean, who really cares about hearing about BlackRock and ETFs and things like that? It's not like super exciting and it's not something you're going around.
No, it is. It is.
It is.
You see a lot of the popular crypto channels, this is what they do.
Sucking up to the institutions.
Correct.
Yeah. Seth, I think you're kind of in the same mindset. You've started a new channel and everything, man.
Oh yeah, no, completely, no, absolutely. I think one of our last streams together, Blood mentioned that I had a trigger point necklace that he thought maybe it was a spiritual thing, like mala beads or whatever. And I've been like totally down this rabbit hole of like, look, if the world's kind of ending as we know it, if we're seeing a massive shift and a massive like global awakening, then I want to get right with God. I want to learn some new things that I don't know because I've been repeating a lot of things that I think I do know. And life has had a way of kind of reminding me that there's a lot that I don't know. So yeah, I've been kind of a journey. And yeah, what you see there, the Mind of God cast is kind of part of that. I got word back from a person who's become a good friend of mine, Mark Shays, who created the X Games. He'll be my first guest, my first major guest on that, and kind of brings full circle some stuff that I did back in the 90s when we were all kids. Like I was into extreme sports and all that. So yeah, going to be talking to people who are big into not just sort of like themes of awakening and matters of the soul, but also consciousness, reality, AI ethics, the stuff that I think on the tech side look, if we don't talk about the stuff that makes us uniquely human right now, we could lose track of it. Like we're actually at that point where we could lose track of the things that keep us human. And, that matters, right? Like, so this is kind of my method of collecting new mentors for myself, but then having the privilege of being able to interview them. So this is something I've focused on a lot over the last while. But then beyond that, I've been, like everybody else, been vibe coding to my heart's content. There's plenty of really great tools to help me make stuff in code. And I'm not the sharpest crayon in the box, but I know where they are.
What?
So yeah.
Come on, man.
I know where they are.
Then you can't say that and then also the same and call yourself a wise man.
That's right.
Only a fool thinks he knows everything, and I think the three of us would agree. So. Yeah,
so, but you're definitely a sharper tool in the toolbox.
Yes,
well, I
it may not be the sharpest.
That's what I'm saying. Man. There's always room for humility. Just saying, like I'm getting my hands on some coding tools, and I've been building some fun stuff as well. But it's leaning a lot more towards the broad category of what they call spirit tech. So divination tools, being able to read. I don't want to get too weird about it. It's not meant to be like witchcraft stuff or satanic garbage, just stuff to help understand yourself better, and then study aids.
Shout out to Hotep, man. I know you were just on his show, Rice, but he hit me to the vibe code word terminology. I didn't know what that was.
Vibe code?
Yeah, vibe coding.
And that is I heard
basically
Seth mention
you're sitting there with the AI and you're having a chat and you're just kind of vibing through getting to your solution or whatever code, whatever app you're trying to build. You're just kind of vibing along, talking to the AI, and it's helping you and you're helping it and all that stuff till you get to your destination. You don't really know fully the scope of the project you're building, but yeah, I thought that was hilarious because hell, I'm even vibe coding, and I'm a coder, and this AI stuff is just taking everyone's programming skill levels up 10 notches easily.
Oh yeah, if you're a guy that can ship 300 usable lines of code in a day, you can 10x that.
Yeah, exactly.
I was looking at the last time the three of us streamed, and I think it was October 16th, 2024, which would have been like 13 months ago or 11 months ago.
Damn,
because next month it'll be a year. So that's how much is. I feel like I know me and you have done streams, Blood, but I'm not sure about with Seth because it's not showing up on my back end of my YouTube channel, and I didn't delete.
No, I don't think so, gentlemen. I had kind of a weird experience the end of October, and I talked to you a little bit about it privately, Rice. I don't think I'm ever going to talk publicly about some of the experiences that I had end of October. Because I do think that I was, it's like we're hearing this theme a lot internationally, globally right now. People saying, hey, well, I wasn't a strong believer in God, but I definitely see the influence of evil. So there must be an equal influence of good in the world or in the universe.
It just called back 2 minutes ago. I'm going to have to pay attention and turn my phone on so I can answer my call from myself.
Okay. Well, anyway, end of October, I feel like I had one of those brushes with the other team. So I was
you didn't have an NDE, did you?
I had something like that, but not in October. That was later that I had something like that. It's been a crazy almost year now.
I also want to add that the channel that you started like months ago. I want to say like 6-7 months ago, and you're just now starting to really get something going with it. So it's not like this is like something that you did last week because of some religious or spiritual awakening because of how crazy last week was.
No, not at all. It's not a reaction to any of that. It was a slow build, and I wanted to make sure that if I was going to put content on that channel, that none of it was mindless. None of it was like, clickbait or popcorn. I want it to be something that, 5 years from now, heaven forbid, right? Knock on wood. If my time's up before I finish making all that content, whatever I contribute there, I want it to be something that people actually care about, that actually helps them, for the long term. So be very intentional about it.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that, and I definitely want to try to get some of those aspects. Me and you would try to record something this past Sunday that we're going to have to, me and you talked about rescheduling because of internet problems. So if anybody's watching this and they're seeing any kind of like issues where we're freezing up or anything like that, it's because of what's been happening on the attack on my internet that I still can't get fixed.
So you guys are streaming Sunday?
No. We tried to record something this past Sunday, talk for my other channel for the Rise Against, because I'm going to be putting a lot more focus into that channel. I was trying my last ditch effort to try to resurrect this channel and just kind of cover economics and politics, but I think this channel is like just so far beyond repair.
Yeah, the shit that the stuff that you've shown us in the back end, crazy, bro. Like, this shadow banning is really real. But it just goes to, and I said this in our chat, in our Telegram room, right? So I'm like, if little old you, little old me, little old Seth are getting banned, what is shadow banned and throttled, or whatever term you want to use? What does this mean to the people that are like popular voices against the machine? Like,
that's why I mentioned controlled opposition, or they just let a few through.
They just let a few through.
It's one or the other. It's to me, It's one or the other. And just real quick, something that I had shared with these guys was this right here. This is the back end of my YouTube. I tried doing some promotion. I was Crypto Billy had suggested pay YouTube to do some promotion. We do it, which is an honest thing to do, especially versus buying views. This is using YouTube for promotion. The two below, they say end it, but they were disapproved. They will not allow me to pay for promotion. And so far, I've tried doing this. Each campaign that you see there for 2 separate videos was done with different intentions, different demographics, different ages, different countries. So I was trying a plethora of different things, and all of them were being denied. And they were using this excuse about, I'll pull it up here in a second, so we're not wasting too much time on this, but it's something to do with election license or something like that. It is the most asinine thing that I've seen them send out. View details, fix policy issues. Let's see here. There's the other one.
Well, I mean, while you're pulling that up, I can't tag you guys in photos on X at all. I can't tag anyone in photos on X. Yeah, I think maybe I said one or too many things that were either critical of Elon, or I liked the one of our suggested guests who I brought up in our chat, who got Grok to admit Elon might be the Antichrist.
It says election advertising. Now, if you watch the video of me and Hotep, there is nothing in that video that talks about elections at all. I think that Trump is mentioned in the Lynette Zhang interview, but there's nothing talking about elections and voting or anything to that effect. But they're denying me for those reasons. It's the craziest thing. So I would say, we've had, I guess we got a 2025 review, 3/4 of the way in. Usually you wait till the end of the year, but this year has been so severe. I think that we probably should have done this already, obviously, which is why we're doing a show before a show. That's why we decided to do today's show, which was going to be yesterday, but it's today because we have so much to talk about that we wouldn't be able to actually cover the FOMC meeting if we hadn't talked prior to tomorrow. So,
the mic holding that's going to occur tomorrow.
Mic holding. Oh yes. Yeah. Oh yes. Right. I mean, it's been so long, man. It took me a minute. So we had Trump. We had Trump get elected. He took office this year.
We had Trump get elected.
A lot of his campaign promises.
Oh no! So he got the attempted assassination was before his election.
We covered that. We did cover that.
Yeah,
the last interview that we did.
One.
The last one was with Vin Miller.
Vin Miller. They got 0 views.
Right. They still haven't released that body cam footage from that incident.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we interviewed, and thanks to Rice, all credit goes to Rice for his journalistic capabilities. He was able to track down and get Vin Miller on, who was the 3rd alleged assassination attempt.
That sheriff is running for governor in California. I think his name is Blanco, Sheriff Blanco, maybe.
And Vin didn't do many interviews.
No.
After that incident,
he did. He's a content creator in his own right. But
I don't think anybody cared about it. I think at that point we were desensitized. The third one was like, oh, another one. But that wasn't even really. That really wasn't really.
That really wasn't one.
It wasn't nothing.
He was framed. Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
so everything to do with Trump, this is like on the table to talk about. We had the no new wars, we have ending wars, supposed to be the releasing of the Epstein list, JFK, MLK files, disclosure about those orbs that they said would take place. I still haven't heard shit about that. Calling for a weaker dollar, war with the Fed, lower interest rates, nationalizing the Fed, tariffs, Peter Thiel, Palantir, the technocrats, the PayPal mafia, Israel, wars with Hamas, bombing Qatar, or attacking Qatar, Iran, Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, and occupied Palestinian territories, Russia, Ukraine, the NATO shit, China, the BRICS nation, the economics, the de-dollarization, the racial tensions in the United States because of a story that was released a couple weeks after it actually occurred, which is really interesting about the timing when you consider the 1-2 punch that we got. We got the 1-2 punch being the Charlotte motor rail incident where the Ukrainian lady got stabbed on the train, and then that caused a lot of racial tensions and a lot of animosity, anger, and then we had the second punch come in with the Charlie Kirk assassination. That's even somewhat questionable in some ways, in a lot of ways.
What, you don't think he was killed?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Oh.
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that.
I'm like,
and also,
please.
we just recently, I don't know if it happened the same day or if it was the following day, but the House of Representatives passed an anti-boycott amendment that was targeting the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movements against Israel. So we have all this very pro-Israel stuff happening. I know I probably left out a lot.
Yeah. Well, not the least of
economically,
which was Charlie Kirk kind of broadly changing his mind toward the nation of Israel, not towards the the Israelite people, but towards the nation of Israel and national policy towards Israel and AIPAC money and whether or not it's wise to let public figures take AIPAC money. But pay no attention to that. Don't notice that, please.
I will say, obviously I try to look at all sides. There was an episode that Candace Owens came out with, I think yesterday, and she shared some pretty interesting information because I didn't know it, but Bibi Netanyahu was making his rounds on the media talking about Charlie Kirk's death and reading from a letter that they had communicated to each other, but didn't read the letter in its entirety apparently. And Candace Owens was kind of going on about that, and I think she's going to push this issue a lot further because in the letter it looked like kind of what we're talking about, where Charlie Kirk seemed to be not as supportive of the Israeli government, not necessarily against Israel, but not in support of the Israeli government and what they're doing.
Right.
He
was on Ben Shapiro.
Is complete genocide, bro. I'm sorry.
That's what he said to Ben Shapiro to his face. And that's what he said, if I'm not mistaken, to Patrick Bet David to his face, and then suggested to Ben Shapiro that he was not happy, at least bare minimum, with the way that Israel is spending foreign aid that our taxpayers are sending over there, which is largely going towards bombing poor black and brown people in the Gaza Strip. This is not difficult for most people to wrap their heads around and say, oh yeah, a lot of us disagree with kind of a lot of the policies there. And you got all the kids in all across academia across the West who are saying yeah, we don't like what Israel's doing there. So how is it that how do we get in this weird vortex of forces where you got those same kids that are anti sort of Gaza genocide action also being anti Charlie Kirk? It's very weird.
No, it's very fucking weird. I mean, we're in a very weird state. I mean, if we're on the Charlie Kirk stuff, how did it make you feel, Blood? And
sad.
How do you feel today versus how you felt when it happened?
I feel the same way. I feel the same. I feel sad. I feel very disappointed in our society. I feel like we are, just to see, because you got kids, right? But your kids are grown adults. But
just one.
Just one that you know of, right? Got you. but Mind Your Biz and I have younger kids, and to think of the idea of my kids seeing me get shot, assassinated, just hurts my soul. And so yeah, it's pretty bad. And the thing is, I wasn't a Charlie Kirk follower. I wasn't up to date on his rhetoric and his message and all of that. I had no real clue about it. I've seen him on Bet David, but at the end of the day, I don't think he deserved to go out, even if he was somehow, the left are saying, this racist individual, which I'm betting that he wasn't. We're at a point now in society where a white man cannot make any critical analysis or judgment or observation of a black person or black culture. They are considered, that's a third rail. You cannot say anything negatively about black people or black culture. And
I will, in addition to speaking about other cultures and not single out black people or black situations. I'm not going to be one of these people that's going to shut my mouth for politically correct reasons.
That's true. Okay, you should hear Rice on the Inuit people of Alaska. He's brutal. He is brutal. He has some criticisms.
In you out.
Yeah, so I just it's just a shit show, bro. Like, I'm disappointed in the Charlie Kirk thing. I'm disappointed in black people. That's a whole nother situation unrelated to the Charlie Kirk thing. I've been very lately, over the last few, I would say maybe 6 months or so, I've just been very disappointed with black America. We're just lost, bro. It's no, I'm in the camp of Charleston White now. Like, there's no hope. Let them young YNs, they call them, let the YNs just kill themselves and die off, and we can start anew. Cause I don't see any hope. I don't see any hope, bro. From Memphis to Chicago to St. Louis to New Orleans to Detroit, where I'm at.
That's probably a totally separate conversation, but I'm sure it has
totally separate.
I'm sure it has a lot to do with the hip hop culture. I'm sure it has a lot to do with the programming that's kind of been put into what I would call the hood, the trap.
Yeah,
it's a lot of programming, man.
It's a lot of that onion is very layered.
I think we're seeing just how layered it is, though, because now you got these people who, like, let's pretend like this thing was politically motivated with Charlie. You got, like, what would it take to galvanize people right of center to start really getting reactive, really getting angry? Because you look at his debates, he was one of the calmest, right, of the political commentators, right of center. So as martyrs go, you could say they couldn't have chosen worse, but they couldn't have chosen better as far as somebody who would galvanize the right to get into political action. And churches this last Sunday, record attendance. I mean, like, in the last 20 years, churches haven't been so full. So they've definitely lit a fire under people. You got people who are leaving the Democrat Party. You got people who are disavowing their sort of like centrist view, saying, look, I can't be moderate anymore. I have to do something to kind of like pick a side. So, like, I think, I don't know, man, if there's a central planning committee, I think that they're gearing up to move a few of us like pieces on a board. And unfortunately, what you're talking about, Blood, I think that might just be one piece on the board. A lot of us just look like pawns to them. They're moving us around to get us angry and agitated.
We are pawns, and it's like we're playing, in a sense, America, us, we're all playing into what's being perpetrated, man. I mean, we obviously can't move on and not talk about it. It has to be done, but it was kind of intended for that. And it kind of like what you said, Blood. I mean, I felt sad, I felt disgusted, but I feel like those feelings have kind of increased since then on my end. Like,
but I don't understand how the black folks, my community, that shit happens every day in my hood.
Not someone like that.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, black dudes.
Well, we had a school shooting. We had a school shooting the same day as Charlie Kirk was assassinated in Colorado.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I just don't understand why black folks aren't sad right now, because we're doing Charlie Kirks every day out here.
I think black people are just as divided as white people, because I can't put all black people in the category of like what, kind of what you were saying as far as how you're feeling towards the black people. I'm not black, but I can't put all black people in that category, because like the video,
of course not,
video you sent today with that country truck driver,
the truck driver,
that dude, look, that dude's probably more MAGA than all of us, which none of us are MAGA, so he's definitely more MAGA. Well, you might be MAGA.
I'm insane. I'm insane MAGA now. I've
given up?
I've factioned off. No, I've broken off from the MAGA, and I'm insane now. Like my man, big homie CC, he's insane GD. I'm insane MAGA.
I'm MAGA.
I'm MAGA. Yes, I'm MAGA now.
Nice.
So I'm part of the old branch of MAGA, that pre-election Trump MAGA, for all the stuff that he was standing for MAGA, that he has pivoted away from. I'm pissed.
Okay.
I'm a little pissed.
I just minted an NFT called Bloods for MAGA. I'm gonna do a drop real soon.
NFTs, those still exist?
No, I made that up.
Seth, how did you feel when you saw what happened to Charlie Kirk, and how has that changed today?
It was a shock, man. So my oldest, who, you know, I've got a couple who are adults, my kids. My oldest saw it. Somebody at his job showed it to him. And then my wife was shopping. She was literally at the store, and someone decided to, like, oh my gosh, this happened. Do you want to see? And they showed her right there, like at the register or whatever at a store. And so they saw completely unedited footage, including all the gore, which, look, man, a lot of other assassination videos, they don't let stuff like that circulate for a long amount of time. And I'm not squeamish, like, you know, I'm not squeamish around things like that. But I didn't want my wife and one of my kids to see a thing like that before we could go over that as a family, or like discuss it. Or, you know, my wife's out there, in her mind, things are racing through her head because we know people in that area. We know people whose children go to that university. And so for us, it felt very personal. It felt like it was in our backyard.
Well, I'm saying you must be glad that you're not, that you guys have left that area completely at this point.
Well, the issue is, I think if it, like, regardless of who chose to do this thing, Charlie was speaking all over the world, man. He was at Cambridge. He was at Oxford. He's all across the United States, coast to coast, north to south. So he's been everywhere. They had every opportunity to do this any other place. And I think that if there's a message being sent here, that message is that it can happen anywhere, right? People like to think of, like, the nicest Mormon you know. But, like, would this happen around the nicest Mormon you know? Of course not. And so, of course, you know, this statement of Charlie being murdered, right, in Mormon territory, in Mormon country, kind of makes everybody feel like, oh, well, then if I'm not safe around the Mormons, I'm not safe anywhere, right? Like, it would be like, what the only thing worse would be if they had done it, you know, just outside of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, directly on, you know what I'm talking about, directly on, like, Mennonite territory or something. Or, you know, or on a farm. It would make everybody feel like that's pretty chilling. If they don't like you, they'll take a poke at you anywhere.
He's streaming on his other YouTube channel.
Yeah, Red Nugent 2. Check me out there. I'm streaming live right now. We got Wisdom Bars.
It's the official home of the iMAGA.
Yeah, iMAGA gang.
Red Nugent 2, the official home of the iMAGA gang. Bloods for MAGA.
Bloods for MAGA. Ba ma baga blood.
Make it Bama. This is just for, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sipping on some. I'm sipping on some scissor.
Are you drinking alcohol?
No. I'm drinking spirulina.
Oh, spirulina
right now.
It's very healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drinking some Covfefe.
So I'm taking 5 steps forward and 2 back. 5 forward, 2 back. That's life, babe, ladies and gentlemen. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel that way.
Yeah, but to answer the second part of your question, Rice, like, how do I feel about it now? I had the outrage. I had the shock. I had the sense of, like, okay, well, that's really chilling. what does this mean? Like, what's going to happen in the next 72 hours? Because when you look at destabilized nations, man, when supply chains fail, you're like 72 hours away from serious problems socially. And I was wondering, is this enough of a catalyst for us to see real problems in the street? I was pleasantly surprised to see that instead.
Yeah.
Instead, we just saw a bunch of people who hadn't gone to church their entire life or in the last 20 years say, you know what? Life's too short. I'm going to try it at least. Maybe I don't go back. But a bunch of people just decided to go to church.
I will say,
yeah, really nice.
I would have thought the opposite. I would have thought that I would have been really disappointed in seeing my fellow Americans resort to violence and doing just some horrendous acts versus one of the largest recent attendances in Christian churches. Christian churches, I should say specifically, but there may be more people that are kind of going towards whatever it is that they believe in.
Hey, man, what's the saying in the hood? If you're scared, go to church, ladies and gentlemen. Go to church.
Is that the saying in the hood?
That is the saying in the hood. If you're scared, go to church.
That's a
There
shirt.
were a lot of scared people on Sunday, man.
There was a lot of scared people on Sunday.
I mean, it's really sad to think about this, though, that this is where we are as a nation, that you can't speak freely and piss off people without to the point that they're thinking about killing you. Like, I mean, as much as, and I grew up when you had, the rise of Howard Stern, when we seen Married with Children come on to Fox. I mean, these were really pivotal things that took place when they took place, because it was changing. We went from like Leave It to Beaver, Cosby, to Married with Children. That was a big change, and it's crazy to think. And the whole thing was people would just basically shut you out if they didn't like what you had to say. They would just stop listening, stop paying attention, and just let you run your mouth, because you have that right. And by taking away that right from other people, you're taking away your right from yourself. And that's the sad thing that's happening in America that really fucking pisses me off when it comes to this issue of free speech that we've been talking about for well over 5 years.
Yeah, well, right, like you're saying, I mean, kudos for turning my attention to The Fourth Turning, and then the follow-up book, The Fourth Turning, is here. In the follow-up book, he talks pretty clearly about how whatever this next phase is, look, we might not want it because that's a very typical Gen X thing, but, heavy is the head that wears the crown. We are going to be the leaders of the next, whatever the next wave is. And we have to be, because we have that anti-fragility baked into us. The mold was broken after Gen X. I don't know what happened. Millennials are not the same. They can act tough. They can talk tough. They don't have that ability to just hear something that they disagree with, smile, nod, and say, look, I disagree, and let's reason it out. Let's talk about it. Or, hey, if you say you want to box, that's fine. We can handle it that way if that's what you feel like. But we're going to hash this out now, and then it's over. And you're not going to come back and, try to murk me because you disagreed or because you lost.
I was really surprised that Blood wanted to know what this scripture said, so I'm going to make sure I read it. It says, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. Proverbs is some great wisdom. And I will even put that on screen so everybody can see it. If I can get off this screen share and go to the next one. Spiritual beliefs. I don't like the term Christian, but I am going to call myself a Christian. I try to follow the teachings.
This guy just said, I don't like the term Christian.
I don't. Because the reason I say that is because most people who call, and I've said this a lot in the previous videos, but most people who call themselves Christians are not Christ-like. And to be a Christian, you are walking the path of Christ, or trying to walk the path of Christ. And most Christians aren't that. So I had a problem.
Most Christians are a horrible PR for Christianity.
Yes. Yeah. So
but then they would say, I'm not perfect. So that's why I'm, pursuing that's why the likings of Christ.
And I use this argument. Buddhists, people who follow the teachings of Buddha, don't call themselves Buddhists. They call themselves practicing Buddhists because to be a Buddhist, you've achieved enlightenment. So you can't be a Buddhist until you've achieved enlightenment. So you practice to get to that state. So practicing Christians would be better in that term. But before before Christianity was a term was existed, as me and Seth talked about privately before, it was called the Way, followers of the Way, because in John, not John 3:16, but Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, the light, the life, the light. But so I know you're not a Christian. I don't think you're a Christian. I know you respect Christian values, Blood. Where do you stand when it comes to this matter? Because Christianity has come up as a very important topic today because of this assassination as well.
So I used to be a very active and devout Christian growing up. And it was simply because that was what was given to me. Right, and that's typically that is the case with most people. If they're early practitioners of a certain faith, it's because of their mother, family, father, whatever. Right. So I didn't find Christianity; it was given to me. It was taught to me. And again, that's most people, right? But what are you asking about as far as?
Well, it's become a big issue now, and I think that as we're talking about things with Donald Trump and the way that things are headed with the nation, and I've talked about this with Seth privately, and we've talked about this in other contexts, is we look at the political spectrum as being a pendulum. The pendulum has swung so far left that the only natural reaction is that the pendulum swings back to the right just as hard. Which means that
this shit has gone so diabolical.
The pendulum Christian
swung
right
from the left to the right, and it didn't go back around. It went up and around back to the left. We've circumvented coming back down to the left to go all the way around.
We haven't gone right, like full right yet. We're kind of in the motion. We're kind of in the motion.
Right. But I'm just saying it's going up the other way because I don't know if you heard about this. I'm sure you did. But Donald Trump went and bought 10% of Intel.
With the government.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, we're moving. That's the other thing. We're getting new definitions.
That's fascism.
What are we doing? See, this is the type of shit that got me MAGA.
But that's the thing.
What
I
are
was
we
telling
doing, Trump?
I told you that shit before. I told you there was more evidence towards Trump doing bad shit than there was good shit. It's like it's just like when
no. Wait. No. He's doing. I personally think
he has done some good things. I'm not saying
he's trying. He's trying.
I don't know.
So then I have to. You don't think? Okay. I think he's. Yeah, I think I've never seen a president work as hard as him ever.
Yeah, he's probably going to kill himself.
I mean, that might be part of that. It might be a planned demolition. It might be a staged event. Look, when we hired him and Vance to do the job, realistically, I mean, I even tweeted about it. We hired Vance to finish the job, probably.
Well, we hired
Peter Thiel. And I can't stand him.
We hired Peter Thiel to finish the job because
I
Peter
can't
Thiel is
stand
behind
Vance. It's something, and I don't know if you guys know, but Charlie Kirk was the conduit or the person that actually introduced.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's happening.
Vance to Trump and his administration. Did you know that, Seth?
No, I didn't know that.
I had no clue.
Well, then there must be some Thiel connection there then too, because it's a lot of it's money and Thiel's money. So,
yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I think as far as that pendulum swinging the other way, though, and the fourth turning, I think the fourth turning is here, the follow-up book. If you haven't read either one, just jump into the current one because they'll give you a synopsis of the first. But in the follow-up book, they talk a little bit about how realistically Gen Alpha, the youngest generation right now, they're going to be very traditional and very based. They're going to be very conservative, whether we want it or not. But I think it's also going to fall to Gen X to be sort of the elder statesmen and the new guard of whatever goes into governance. Like when the boomers are out, it's either us or we let it skip over to the millennials. We can't afford that.
When it comes to this political game, the only thing I could say about Donald Trump that I've kind of come to the conclusion of is either he is a liar and extremely compromised, or he is playing a 6,890 quadrillion D chess game that I have no fucking comprehension of. And if you want to go down the Q rabbit hole and hear the shit the Q people are saying, it is the most asinine shit that I've heard in a long time.
What are they saying?
Well, a lot of it is that these posts were future dated, but they were posted back. So they're trying to they're trying to correlate the old post to what's currently happening. Is part of it.
So kind of like Nostradamus. It's all in code.
It's like coded gematria, numerology, astrology, all the stuff that we were talking about privately Sunday, Seth. Kind of like all wrapped up.
I'm disappointed in Trump because some of the core things that he ran on, he's stepping backwards or pivoted on.
But so, how do you feel about the Epstein list, and what do you think's happening with that?
Don't care.
No, you have no.
I'm the one.
You don't care about you don't care about the pedophilia people not getting what's coming to them, like allowing.
They never were going to. So that list that was never. Are you pro?
Are you pro pedo?
Not at all.
Okay.
But
just have to ask, man. I got to see where you stand today, blood.
Yeah. If I've swung that much, boy.
Well,
from when you saw me 11 months ago to now, then it's a problem.
I saw
you were very much against Diddy, but I think it's becoming obvious that some of that stuff is all overlapping. It's not a rabbit hole, man. It's a giant ant farm full of rabbit holes, and they're more interconnected than people want to admit. If Diddy was connected to Epstein, would that change your mind?
No, we changed my mind about
wanting to know more about the list.
No, I don't care about Diddy. I don't care about Epstein.
So I mean, what about the fact that there were campaign promises that were insinuating that the Epstein list was going to be released, but it's not being released?
I do that part. I do disrespect. I don't like that.
Okay,
I don't like that. That's what I'm talking about. Like
the JFK files, the MLK files. After all this time, what's been released? Well, how you feel about that shit?
Nothing has been released with MLK.
No, there's been stuff released. It's just not. They actually put stuff out about the MLK stuff to try to appease people about the Epstein stuff. There was more stuff because his family was not happy with a lot of that stuff coming out.
So they put more out.
From what I understand, but I don't think I don't think it's a complete disclosure. I think it's more information that was given before, but I think the JFK stuff is.
I think we all know that the FBI killed Malik, right? I'm gonna call him Malik.
You're gonna call him Malik? MLK. Malik Luther Jackson.
Malik Jr. Yeah. So, right. That's kind of what we can agree on, right? That's the consensus. FBI did him in.
Yeah, that was
CIA.
FBI.
Yeah, it was FBI.
No, I think that was FBI. That was
FBI. Right.
And then with JFK, it was
CIA.
Well, they're trying to stay away from it because it looks like CIA and international friends.
So, Seth, what is your thoughts about the Epstein list, the JFK and MLK stuff?
Yeah, I'm with Blood on that. I think it's an absolute disappointment. I think it's an absolute failure to follow up on campaign promises. And Trump, his first term, there were interesting kind of like happy accidents that took place after he was in office, where it was like, okay, well, he didn't necessarily promise to do that, but conditions are better for business owners. Conditions are better for real estate owners and developers. The working class man who has any kind of investment, who's come up a little bit in life, is better off, right, for this guy being in office. And then he kind of came back to us posturing as though that's how he would be for this term, and then made way more promises that were political in nature. And so, like, I mean, we shouldn't be shocked that he hasn't covered every single campaign promise and done right by every campaign promise. But those were big ones, man. Those were huge.
Yeah, those were big ones. That's what I'm saying. I didn't have like unrealistic expectations, right? that Trump was going to just come and do everything. Like, no, he's going to make mistakes. He's human. I wasn't expecting, but for us to jump into bed with Israel and that war over there, the Iran, and doing the bombing, even though so far so good, right? We haven't seen any tension.
It's not really though. There was bombing and there was bombs the week before and last week in different countries that Israel did. So it wasn't necessarily Iran, but they're still fucking. Did you see that list that I was mentioning?
Yeah, I heard about something in Qatar.
Qatar happened.
Some people like to say Qatar.
Yeah, that happened. Was it last week? Yeah, because I interviewed
last week.
Tom Luongo. So it was like the beginning of last week.
Okay, this is what I was having this conversation
but listen.
with my dad.
Hamas, Qatar, Iran, Lebanon, Syria, Yemen. That's 6 within other and occupied Palestinian territories. So 6 nations that have been attacked.
How are they getting away with this shit, bro?
Did you hear about Grok saying that in a question that apparently, based on some information, that Israel was committing genocide and Grok was suspended and apparently lobotomized to not say that shit anymore? Did you know that?
No.
We'll see if
I'm starting to think the Israelites that occupy Israel, the current ones, the Ashanakis, whatever you call them, Rice,
or the rabbinic Jews.
I'm starting to think these people are
we're gonna lose our YouTube channels, by the way.
Off planet.
Pretty much.
Off planet. They're off planet they're hybrids. They've got to be like Nordics. They're not tall whites. They got to be like another type of Nordic type. Because the way we just bend over for this very small country with not that much kinetic power or influence, you would think, like, I just don't, I can't rationally make it make sense, guys.
Yeah, there's something very unique about the Israeli people, or the nation of Israel.
The government. Let's take the people let's take the people out.
Yeah, it's not the people
exactly, right?
per se. Yeah, it's the government.
I mean, there may be some bad apples. You know, some people that agree with the government, but the problem is the government,
right? So
and their intelligence agencies.
And that's just it. How many do they need for a country that size, right? They've got Israeli intelligence and they've got Mossad.
And you can't question it.
We pretend like they're all CIA, even though
you can't question it. You can't question it. I was listening to a conversation between Megyn Kelly, like a clip from Megyn Kelly, and Blood's favorite politician, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And they were talking about
how did she become my favorite politician?
And they were talking about being Christian, being pro-Israel, but not pro-Israel, the government and AIPAC, and questioning that, and talking about their friends trying to invite them to go to Israel, and it just becoming this big thing. And part of the question was, what is it that AIPAC and Israel has on our politicians that they're able to, in a sense, control them like puppets?
Maybe the Epstein list.
Maybe you're going back to those interconnected rabbit holes, the ant farm.
Well, I mean, the assertion by some people is that Epstein himself was trained by Mossad. If he wasn't mainline Mossad.
Yeah, that's what I think. Honestly, at the end of the day, I think Epstein was a big, giant Mossad operation to gather blackmail materials to pretty much control things.
Which is why he had to groom Diddy, so he could go get black males to do the blackmail.
I thought you were street smart, bro.
Is that why it's called blackmail? With the things that you learn on a freaking live stream.
Oh man, that's funny.
That's like a bad dad joke, but it was actually really, it was funny. Okay.
I don't know.
What about the disclosure on those those Orb UAP shit, the New Jersey stuff, and all the different sightings around the military?
I've been following that pretty heavily. Like what disclosure? Ross Coulthard.
What disclosure we gotten from Trump? Because he did promise that too, didn't he?
He shut it down. Yeah, he did. One time that he mentioned it, he said, "Oh yeah, we know what they are, and don't worry about it."
Well, no, he said something. He said something about telling the American public about it, though.
Yeah, but he said the same thing about the Epstein list, and then
I know I'm just bringing up a list. I'm just bringing up a list here.
I just think so. We had a hearing this past week.
Yeah, but it wasn't like an official hearing.
Well, what was it?
It was
It
just a
was.
hearing. No, there's different types of hearings because
Okay.
there's some hearings
Enlighten me.
where people are not under test. They're not testifying under test. Like they're not testifying under oath.
Testifying under testicles?
Testifying under oath. Testifying under oath.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so there's like
You don't want to testify under
the one that
testicles.
just recently happened. They didn't testify
Yeah.
under oath because there was one gentleman that was talking about 4 different known extraterrestrial species, talking about your favorite Nordics, your Greys,
Yep.
there's like I think
Tall whites?
a reptilian. Well, the tall whites I think would be the Nordics.
No, they're different.
Well, they weren't
They are.
included in the 4. Okay.
Okay.
Well, tall whites are more like Stranger Things. The
They're
whatever.
from Zeta Reticular.
Hey, we're not talking about
Reticuli.
we're not talking about the Galactic Empire and the super soldier forces that are doing shit. Okay, we're not going there.
So
with this
there
conversation.
are, from
Not
my
the
understanding,
Pleiadian.
right, there are seven different species that we know of.
Yeah, but there's not been like an official release that yes, there is even one other one than us. I mean, we're speculating. We don't know. Do you have proof of these grays? Do you have a gray that said, "Hey, I'm a gray"?
I've been wanting them to come see me, man. Like,
I've invited
I believe,
it. I'm like, yeah, come on, multi-dimensional
I believe,
beings.
I believe in it, but I'm just like waiting for them to come see a brother.
I'm
Well,
not
they've got
saying that we
they've
don't
got a
have
tone you
other
can play on a
life.
Bluetooth speaker that will attract them. Like you can call a UAP. This has been done. Y'all are not
No,
deep into UAP Twitter yet.
No, I'm not in the UAP Twitter, but I do understand the whole what is it called? The cyanot. What is it called?
Psionics.
Psionics.
Well,
No,
psionics is using force with your mental powers. There's telepathy.
No,
it's
psionics
an
encompasses
umbrella
all
for
that.
everything. Yeah,
Telepathy,
it encompasses
telekinesis, mind
It's all under
sight,
psionics.
remote viewing. All of that is under the
Yeah, it's
umbrella
all
of
under the
psionics.
umbrella.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So are you talking about that, Seth, or something else?
I'm talking about something else. They actually have a track you can play on a Bluetooth speaker that is supposed to actually call the UAP. It's like a dog whistle for alien.
Stop playing with me.
Dog whistle for aliens is great.
So does that mean that aliens are racist?
Look,
I don't know, man.
This is my cousin. He said the Russian alien index says 14 has visited our planet since we started recording. I guess recording data. I mean, I don't think it's impossible. Have you ever heard the story of Valiant Thor? A Venusian who was apparently living in the Pentagon for a while.
Well, I mean, Venus has a breathable atmosphere. We could populate Venus right now.
This is like a real thing about like a supposed alien extraterrestrial from Venus.
Right? No, but I'm saying we could. This track, because we
1957.
could live there right now. As long as you had like a sky city like Billy D. Williams lives in, like you could live there right now.
I was gonna ask the
Shout out to Billy D.
atmospheric
Williams
pressure.
and Lando Calrissian and Cloud
Right.
City. Shout out.
Right?
So wait a minute. So I didn't know this about Venus. So you told me Venus has the wait.
They have
You
a
said we
very,
had to
very
live in a dome.
gaseous. It has a very gaseous atmosphere.
So we couldn't
does,
live
but-
in the actual natural atmosphere.
At sea level, we couldn't, but many thousands of feet above sea level, we could. The air is breathable. And the barometric pressure is fine for us at that level.
Look, I just want to put it out there. I want to go on the other side of the wall. If there's another side of the wall, I want to go there. That's all I want to say.
It's right behind you. That colorful
The ice wall. I want to go on the other side of the ice wall. if it exists.
that little rainbow brick you got there. I don't know what kind of message you're trying to send to
Yeah.
people, but
Right?
okay.
That I'm
You can't
anti.
sing-
That I'm anti-black. Where do you see black in this scheme? I see cracks of white. I see
No, I
dark
see-
shades of blue.
I think I see that you're trying to tell people
Really
that
purple.
you're hard on gay.
Yeah, yeah. If that makes you feel better about yourself, then we can go with that. Because I'm pretty sure you know the opposite. Actually,
so,
I was requested.
man.
I was requested by lots of my viewers to bring back the color brick wall that I kept trying to get away from.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's kind of funny. You do know that the song "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" is programming used by was used by MK Monarch, right?
What is MK Monarch versus?
Ooh, I don't know if we have enough time today.
So you know there are like different MK programs, right? Ultra is just one of them.
Yeah, it's the OG, but Monarch was the longest running one, and it's probably still in operation.
What is the basis of it, though?
I mean, so think of the Manchurian Candidate. Think of Jason Bourne.
Okay, that kind of thing.
That kind of thing, and they've got people under testimony, kind of breaking.
So, like Barry
They
Sorensen,
deprogram them.
would Barry Sorensen be in that category?
I don't know.
Ex-CIA agent, former President Obama.
Yeah, I don't know if Barry Sorensen would be in that category. But but one of the people who ran MK Monarch, he was positively associated with the Silicon Valley area, not Church of Satan. This is going to pain me to say it, but it was called the Church of Seth. But they meant it like
Well, Seth was the replacement of the first seed of Adam, so
that's why they named
Oh
it
my
that.
God, bro! You can't make this shit up, man.
I don't think Sethians worship Mind Your Biz.
You can't make this shit up, man.
They
Are
don't.
you serious?
I'm being dead serious right now. This guy, Michael. Oh gosh, what's his last name? Michael Queens. Anyway, point is, he was one of the leads at in MK Monarch. He actually took some of the scriptures from the Church of Satan at the time, and then he made a new one and called it the Church of Seth to kind of make it this sort of like the people in Kabbalah would be into it, right? Because Seth is a very Jewish name, right? And very, very like Hebrew, sounds Christian name, but he meant Set, right? Like Egyptian god Set.
Set, yeah, God, yeah. That's why I worship.
Well, okay, there you go.
No, you're one of those Moloch worshipers.
No, I'm just playing. I don't. That's funny, man.
I was gonna say Sammy Davis Jr. was a Satanist. Like actually,
Really?
Yes.
There were a lot.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that specifically, but there were a lot. He is associated with like Jack Parsons and a couple other individuals. Sammy Davis Jr. is associated with some of these people.
Oh
So
my God, I did not know that, man.
I mean, there was a lot of that shit going on because you had Aleister Crowley was alive in the early 1900s. Not sure exactly when he died, but he was a big influence to a lot of upper society.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then you remember that the Seinfeld show where he does the thing with comedians and they get coffee and all that. The series that he does. Like it's an excuse for him to drive in his old classic cars.
Oh yeah. I saw the episode he did with Chris Rock. That was good. Yeah, I remember that.
Look at the one with Eddie Murphy, because Eddie Murphy rats out Sammy Davis Jr. and tells him about how Sammy Davis Jr. tried to recruit him until you understand there's a power in worshiping the devil.
Yeah, Aleister Crowley died in 1947.
It's real.
and he founded this Thelema religion, which kind of went back on some of like the I forget her name, Madame Blavatsky, I believe, had some influence on some of the Crowley stuff, but he was the guy calling himself the Beast. And yeah,
well, like to your point though earlier, Rice, you said if there's good in the world, then there has to be, you know, an opposite force, because I believe that the universe is balanced in that way. There is a yin to a yang. So
yeah. You can't have evil without good, vice versa. You can't have a Satan without a God and a God without Satan.
Yeah,
but I tend to lean to the right if the right is good. So I can't get with the
well, I mean, dude, I'm going to be cutting ties with anybody that is like celebrating violence and not in a similar mindset as far as how we should move forward as humans. I'm just going to start cutting the line. So if you see me doing a show with somebody, unless I'm interviewing them, for a particular reason, then you should know that you went through my vetting process to at least be a good fucking person, because I don't want to associate myself with bad people anymore. And the world is full of it.
Yeah, they're outing themselves as this. That's what's been so scary to see all these survivors of MK Monarch and MK Ultra coming out now and starting to talk about how, man, these networks of people who groomed little children and harmed them, or just humans, right? Whatever, tried to enslave them through mind control. Like these rabbit holes go really deep, man. I mean, the sort of satanic and evil influence when you start trying to understand, what they've been doing to people, how they've been victimizing people. Unfortunately,
but I'm gonna throw a little monkey wrench, or I'm gonna throw something out there to you guys on my belief though. So I do believe in the reality that we live in. There is a coexistence of good and evil, but I do not believe in the concept of heaven or hell, like afterlife.
I can understand that, but not recognizing that there's a creator, I think, is just there's something wrong with your intellectual thinking. The universe is too complicated, and things are to be accidental, and the human eyeball.
There definitely is a creator of some sort, but my quest to understand
whether it's an architect,
I think
like the Matrix.
I think it's I'm leaning towards the Matrix concept of our reality and a creator of it.
Danny Jones interviewed somebody that said that remote, I think it was Danny Jones, that remote viewing couldn't exist in could only exist in any virtual reality. It was kind of interesting.
And that remote viewing stuff is real, bro.
Well, it started the CIA, from what I understand. I don't know what the project would have been called, but they were utilizing remote viewing.
So yes, Stargate. Yeah,
I mean, shit. I mean, like even who was the British Prime Minister like during World War I and shit? What was his name?
Oh my gosh, you're making me forget.
It's a real famous guy.
World War I, not World War II.
Maybe both. Or it's the guy that they what the hell? Now I'm even losing my thought of what I was going to say because I'm trying to figure out the guy's name.
Who are you referring to?
One of the prime ministers of Britain, but now I don't even understand. It is Churchill, but now I don't even understand. I can't even remember the question that I was asking to figure out who.
Damn, because the devil didn't stole your thoughts. Amen.
Yeah, well, let's roll it back though. So Winston Churchill was related. Is related to remote viewing and how.
So he apparently used mediums and psychics and things to that effect during his terms as prime minister. So there were a lot of people back in the early 1900s. Up through maybe the 1940s and 50s that were semi-public about this, because there was a president that Hillary Clinton claims to speak to the ghost of, Eleanor Roosevelt. She was big into like mediums and seances, Eleanor Roosevelt, and it was very public knowledge. Bill Clinton has done speeches where he talks about Hillary talking to the ghost of Eleanor. It's the craziest shit.
Highlight David's comment. He says, I know there's another side. I started there in 1977 after falling 30 feet out of a tree. Spent over 30 days in the hospital, but I was put back in my body and was told not now.
I don't know that. Soul review, David? Did you wind up reviewing your life?
But I don't know if that defines heaven or hell. We're not saying there's not another side. We're just saying
there is another side. Yeah, I do believe that.
But the concept of heaven and hell, I'm not sure that hell exists, because I can't see a creator God being so vindictive.
The reason why we know hell doesn't exist because we know when hell was created.
or you can just say
historically, we know when the concept of. Well, we know when the concept of hell was actually created, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Sammy Davis Jr. Price.
Speaking of Sammy Davis Jr.
Speaking of Sammy Davis Jr.
No, man.
What's
Leper's
up, Sam?
he's the anti-Sammy Davis Jr. He's the farthest thing from a devil worshiper.
For sure.
No, and
Shout out
I
to Sam.
appreciate the positivity that dude puts out, man. Sam Price is related to Chris Rice in some fashion. We share the same family crest, so he is blood of my blood. But I appreciate his message and everything he's done over the years. The suit, mad respect. I can't do it. I'm too hot natured to wear a suit all the time. Every time I see him in public, it could be Vegas, it could be Miami. He's dressed in that suit.
That's a good look, man. A suit does give you a different tonality in the room when you're in there. When you're
like
present.
a commanding vibe.
It does, absolutely.
Okay, we talked about Trump. We talked about Charlie Kirk. I'm sure we circle back around, but the Russia-Ukraine stuff is not something we've touched on.
Yeah.
NATO, what's happening with that?
Okay, so here's the thing that, again, this is why I can't just write Trump off altogether, is because he's really putting his foot on the neck of NATO, and he has forced them to literally pay for this Ukraine thing and step up their share of commitments from each European country. This is a proven thing. This has actually happened. Kudos to him, man. You got to give a round of applause for that.
I mean, it definitely seems like he's up against a lot, because it seems, from what I can tell, and I'm not there, and it's hard to find the truth these days, but it seems like NATO and the European Union is wanting this to not end.
They most certainly don't want it to end.
Where it seems like Trump is trying to find a way to get this thing to end, where everybody's going to be happy, but it looks like there's no way everybody's going to be happy, because I don't think Russia's going to backstep on anything that they want at this point. And it's actually surprised me that Russia just hasn't just come out and just obliterated that country. They have the power.
They work with, I hear, I don't know if you follow Martin Armstrong. I know you know him, but I follow his work pretty often. And he says he's the most competent, smartest leader that we have on this earth. Putin is. And I can see those traits. I can see where he gets that from. But I just think that Europe is trying to continue this war to cover up their own inefficiencies and mistakes.
When I talked to Tom Longo, he was kind of giving me this idea of and it makes sense, but it's not something that I've really thought about, because of how we look at like what's happening today. Is it's trying to end even the remnants of the British monarchy system. If that makes any sense, and if it doesn't, maybe go back and listen to that interview. But there's like the City of London via the Crown Incorporated and the Crown in England still have a lot more power than people realize and grasp on the world. And I know that England has left the EU, but that doesn't have anything to do with the City of London aspect of it. I'm not necessarily talking about England as a nation, and when I talk about the Crown, I'm not necessarily individually speaking just about the monarch. The City of London and the monarch. The City of London has the Crown Incorporated, and then you have the Crown, like the actual Crown, the monarch crown. And I think in conjunction, they still work together in a lot of ways that are just not seen and not taught. I think the British government, in the War of 1812, I think in some way they kind of regained control of the United States as a territory. It's almost in a way that similar to where Canada and Australia and New Zealand are, except for we don't recognize a monarchy and do the same parliamentary form of government. But I still feel like there's still connections to Washington, D.C., the City of London, and the Crown.
Well, it definitely is. I mean,
and I think it's trying to.
They're all very friendly.
I think it's trying to get rid of that. I think it's trying to get away from that, because I think when you start getting into some of the history of even like the British government, World War I and World War II, I mean, there's some really shady stuff going on that end. I'm not saying that, but there's shady stuff going on all ends. But there was a lot of deception, and there was a lot of times it seemed like a lot of conflicts could have ended that didn't end because people wouldn't let it end. And it comes from the British side, a lot of angles. I mean, I definitely don't think that what we've been taught in history is true, and I think it's more relevant than ever for people to try to find out, to learn what the actual truth was, because I think all of it leads to where we are today. It's
a lot of interesting takes in the comments in the chat room today.
What should we highlight?
I don't know. There's so many. I mean, just continuing with David Brumbelow, and that's your friend.
He's your friend too.
Yeah, he's a follower of my channel as well.
He's just local.
But I'm saying you guys are.
David is a friend of the community, man. David's
IRL friends. Yeah, he says basically he's going on about his experiences. NDE, very warm hand, full of light, love, and warmth touch on my shoulder as I started to turn away from watching my friends, and told me not now. No, not now. I immediately returned to my non-breathing body.
Again, I believe in it. Not that specifically, but I know that how he feels in his spiritual religious beliefs. I know he is a Christian and very proud of it. So, and I have a lot of great conversations with him in regards to those type of topics.
Yeah, I believe there's some other dimension that is definitely past these three that we live in.
Did you know that
I don't think there's a heaven or hell like we'll suffer forever? And
Mr. X is saying here 7 points in the crown of Lucifer and the Statue of Liberty. Did you know that it was designed that the Statue of Liberty was supposed to have this broken chain at the bottom of a foot? It's kind of like something Prometheus or Satan being released from his bounded chains, that because even in the Bible and Revelations it talks about after a certain time period in Revelations, after Christ returns, after the 1,000 years of peace, that Satan will be let loose for a little season. So when the actual Statue of Liberty was put into the United States, the chains are there, but you can't see them. It's set in a way with the way that the platform is set up that you can't actually see it, so it doesn't put the obvious in sight. Because I definitely agree that the Statue of Liberty is representing something on the angle of Satan. And
J Crypto Minus says she is satanic.
Look, it also comes from Semiramis, which is kind of going into the idea of, I'm trying to think of the names of these individuals. Nimrod. What was Nimrod's wife's name in the Bible? Do you remember that, Seth?
No.
Because after Nimrod died, Nimrod's wife had sex with her son.
There's a lot of
Tammuz. Tammuz was the son.
Okay.
Nimrod was the father.
And there was a lot of incest in the Old Testament.
And the female was I think she was another representation of Semiramis, if I'm saying it correctly. But yeah, a lot of this stuff goes back into like some Freemason type stuff. It's pretty interesting. This stream is on my YouTube channel, my Rumble channel, Blood Secondary YouTube channel, Red Nugent 2, and Seth is streaming, I think, on his OG channel.
Yeah,
and
OG,
X.
and then on X.
The OGYT.
Yeah, OG MYB.
Oh, I said YT, like YouTube,
like Whitey. Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry. See,
that doesn't stick. I'm just saying it doesn't stick, man. I've got the blood tests to prove it, thanks to my killings. 20% sub-Saharan African. You can guess exactly which 20% of my body is.
I don't want to.
I know. Because when you do, it'll hit you right in the face.
Okay, something I want to bring up too, because I mean, obviously we're not going to be streaming all freaking day for the next 24 hours. So
we could run a 24-hour marathon.
Well, we could take turns. I'm not sitting here for 24 hours.
Yeah, it's
we could definitely take turns
though.
though.
Yeah,
we don't have enough followers. Like if we had like millions of followers, it would be beneficial to do something retarded like
I want to talk to you guys about this situation that happened on August 22nd, 2025. And I want to shout out Crypto Lifer for, I'm not sure where this went, if this is on mine or
yours. I think yours. Yeah.
If it is mine, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you, Lifer. Thank you. I wasn't sure where you put it, but I definitely wanted to highlight it. That's a lot, man. That's very generous of you. Thank you, brother. That's more than I made all year on YouTube. I'm about to hit my $100 threshold.
I believe you, man. That's crazy.
Well, so this is now it says I've earned 104. So but I meet the minimum payment. So I will say that Sam Price has given more to me this year than Google Incorporated. So thank you, Sam Price, for being
you are
the sponsor of my channel.
Yeah, you rather his dollars than Google's dollars, I guess, for sure.
Okay, so what I wanted to bring up was the story, and I'd said it happened later or happened earlier than reported. So I don't think a lot of people really heard about this situation that I'm about to bring up until probably somewhere around the 4th or 5th of this month. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking 4th or 5th. On August 22nd, 2025, and if I'm butchering her name, I apologize, Irina Zorutska, the 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee that was fatally stabbed on the Charlotte light rail by a gentleman, or I shouldn't say gentleman, by a criminal named Carlos Brown, who's 34, in an unprovoked attack. Brown, who had a criminal record, apparently he had 14 different criminal charges that he apparently was not rehabilitated on or given the proper punishment. There seemed to be a lot of, if you look into the judge, that's like some of the judges or judge that's been involved in his cases and how it relates back to one of her nonprofits and some interesting things like that. It caused a big, huge rift in America right before the Charlie Kirk assassination. And again, this happened on August 22nd. We didn't hear about it, from what I understand, until September 4th or 5th. That is almost 2 weeks.
Wow.
Why did it take that long to get into the mainstream? And why was it conveniently with a week or so before Charlie Kirk's assassination, which I look at as a 1-2 punch? And I told Seth this. I haven't said this ever to anybody publicly except for Seth. When Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I said, I hope to God, I pray this was not a black person. If that would have been a black person, I don't know where we would be today. Based off of that 1-2 punch of that Charlotte incident coming, because the timing of when they released it was sad anyways. Like we didn't even know it happened when it happened. It took almost 2 weeks for it to get into the mainstream for people to be pissed off about it.
That's strange. I didn't know that.
And it made me sad that it was in North Carolina. It was in Charlotte,
North Kakalaka.
But there is. I mean, I'm not going to get into all this shit with the judge, but there is some shady stuff. I just want to talk about just like the incident.
Well, my good friend, my best friend John App, he lives in North Carolina, in Charlotte, outside of Charlotte now, with his family. And I was talking about the incident. I didn't really know much about it, but I just brought it up, and he said, "There's no way that it was staged though, because he got on the train after her. So it would be different if he was on the train before her, and then she got on."
What do you mean staged though? Like it didn't happen?
Meaning like it wasn't planned. It was literally a just psychotic.
Yeah, it was a crazy individual.
Yeah,
I'm not, and that's why I've been trying to be really important in saying that the black man killed the white girl. I'm not trying to say that. I'm not trying to bring that up. I'm trying to bring up, it doesn't matter what color that individual was. If that person had 14 violent criminal offenses prior to that, at some point, what do you like? What about the 3 strikes you're out kind of rule? Like, there is a reason why some people are put into incarceration or given mental health help.
Right.
Like this falls on the system that allowed this individual to continue committing crimes. Doesn't matter whether the individual is white or black.
Well, and like you're saying, I mean, the 14 priors or whatever, and the judge that put this guy back on the street, apparently in a handful of those cases also, he was deemed not mentally competent to stand trial for certain charges. So in a way, like they couldn't, there were some technicalities that didn't allow them to hold him during some of his arrests. Right? Like, make it make sense. The system is that broken.
Well, Donald Trump has talked about bringing back insane asylums, which I think we do need we do need some real mental health people, not lock them away and ignore and pretend like they're not part of society.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, all of these shootings, majority of them are who's, and that's to me a mental health issue.
Well, there's nobody in here with a gun right here. Are you talking about too many trans shootings?
Yeah, but nobody here's trying to chop off their private parts either. So I think he's talking about them.
I just said too many trans shootings. I think that's what was being said as somebody was shot and killed.
I didn't know if, because of the rainbow wall, I didn't know which side, so I didn't want to offend you, right? So I tried to keep it, But no, yeah, exactly. That whole situation.
I want to rape you. Just for saying that shit, I'm gonna rape you.
What?
He's clip farming. Don't take it seriously.
He's clip farming, y'all. Oh my god. So, I think that that's a mental illness, bro.
It clearly is, and there's a lot
of mental
illness. I mean, dude,
but we're praising it and we're cultivating it and we're making it like, our
homeless.
And they're not bad people. Hear me out. They're not bad people. They just need mental assistance and help.
Here's the thing, when you tell somebody left of center that it's a mental health issue, you get shut down. The conversation stops. And people say, how dare you say it's mental health? They changed the DSM. Don't you know that?
Right.
Never mind the fact that there were 4 full volumes of the DSM that called it a mental health problem. It said it was an actual mental disorder.
When you look at the homeless population, and where I live, I can say, like, I know for a fact, based off of experience, that the majority of homeless people that are in my area have mental health problems.
That's right. And the statistics is something like 80% of homeless people are.
And it's not necessarily that the mental health is the one that is what's causing them to be homeless necessarily, but there is mental health in the issue, and there's a lot of people that need help.
Yes,
like real help. I at one point years ago was like going through some like really, really serious stuff. And this is, again, something I don't share a whole lot, but I just wasn't feeling good and really needed some help and didn't have a lot of funds. So I went to the hospital and I told them, how I was feeling. Because I wasn't threatening myself or anyone else, they wouldn't see me. I was actually told to leave and kicked out. I was escorted out by law enforcement in Forsyth County in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, because I was seeking mental health help, but because I wasn't a harm to myself or others, they wouldn't give it to me.
The damage is done by the time someone snaps, and they have hurt someone else or themselves. We can't be reactive in these scenarios.
Well,
because
some
we
of
get
it
stuff like we got here on the
funding.
train.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just this is where we are as a society. I'm just bringing up these points because I think a lot of this correlates back to what we're talking about, because I feel like a lot of these things have been done by design on purpose. I mean, there may have been a mental health problem 100 years ago, but I'm sure it was nothing like it is now. I mean, we're being poisoned in every aspect of our lives. The food we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe,
the content we consume.
I was going to say, whatever we consume, everything is designed in a sense to poison us in lots of different ways. And how can you blame people for what society has done to them? But at the same time, we need to change the way that this country is headed in a more positive, better way, because celebrating the death of anybody, like, I don't.
It's
recall.
diabolical, bro. I just don't
So listen, you remember when we supposedly caught and killed Osama bin Laden? Were people celebrating that like they are Charlie Kirk's assassination?
No.
It's like more people cared about Charlie Kirk, like wanted Charlie Kirk to die versus someone like
I hate to go back to this black community, black society thing. But you're the only one on the show that it's actually allowed to, man. The black culture celebrates the death of their ops. We smoking on a pack. We drop a rap song about it. So this is what I'm saying. This is why we're so fucking far gone as a black society, because we do it. It's crazy, bro. I don't understand it. That's how sick it has gotten.
Dude. I mean, that's part of the poison we've been ingesting.
Yeah, even politics, though, man. I mean, if you zoom out a little bit, part of the sickness is the fact that that extreme right and extreme left, in their own way, are death cults, right? Like they just kill their own differently, right? The extreme left murder their own when they're unborn, and the extreme right send them off to a foreign war to die on foreign soil, but it's still just a meat grinder. They don't really care. So like the greed, there's it's a confluence of problems there. And then beyond that, I think this last weekend, look, it gives me hope because we got a lot of people who finally were confronted with the sort of a mirror of how far we've all fallen, like how far culture has dragged us down.
Decline.
And just said, okay, well, I'm not perfect, but I can try church. I can try it.
I got a question. Why haven't we seen a retaliatory event from the right?
Because they were all busy. They were all busy holding vigils and praying, and going to church.
I think too, it's like because of the outpour of what we've seen on some disgusting people that I can't all put just on the left, but seem to be in that direction. I think that people felt it was best to not do that, and I'm glad. I mean, because if anything, I'm just glad that we didn't see like some uprising of. I heard a new term last week that I didn't know existed, and it's the stupidest word I've heard. The groiper thing.
The what?
Groiper. Groyper. Groiper. It's apparently a term for people that follow Nick Fuentes. It's like people that are like righter than the right, like the far right. And I don't even know that that's true. Because Nick Fuentes is not a white man. How can you be a white nationalist if you're not white? I said this.
What is Seth. Nick?
He's the same thing as Seth.
And what is Seth?
Well,
other than Satan,
technically not white,
for Satan
right?
Or something.
Technically not a Caucasian. Do you list Caucasian?
I don't accept the biblical definition of my name, which is the Adam and Eve's perfect son. The one that didn't die.
That's last name.
Whatever.
Is
one didn't kill, and one didn't go out like a punk.
Estrada is not like a white man Caucasian name.
Super not. Yeah. No, it's
Fuentes.
No, totally.
Fuentes is not a white man Caucasian name. Not saying this is racist, but how can you be a white nationalist with the last name Fuentes?
I mean, you can be a white Cuban, you can be a white Puerto Rican.
You could be what's the dude?
You can even be a white Dominican, actually.
The black white supremacist. What was his name?
Clayton Bigsby.
Yeah, I guess we could all be Clayton Bigsby, who divorced his wife for loving a black man.
Yo, that may be seriously my best Dave Chappelle skit ever.
I think it's probably one of the best.
Yeah, drop your best sketches. One of the best comedy sketches I've ever. Drop your favorite Dave Chappelle skit in the comments below.
Do people actually think Nick Fuentes is white? I mean, because your skin color is lighter doesn't mean that you're white. I mean. And I'm not like proud to be a white person here and like saying like I'm better than you because I have Caucasian skin. I'm just saying facts are facts. You have on this stream, you have a Caucasian, a black man, if you want to, or African. I don't know how you want to call yourself, blood. And then you have a Spanish gentleman, Spanish American, whatever you want to call it. But that's what we are. You know, am I right?
I'm like a genetic Powerball. It's just a little numbers from each column, actually.
from every column.
I'm not so easy to nail down that way, bro.
Is Estrada actually an acronym for all your different?
Estrada is actually
names?
not actually my my blood name.
Oh,
that was my grandfather, my step grandfather's name.
Okay, well now I look like a real fucking idiot here.
Now we're really going down the rabbit hole.
And here's the thing: my biological grandfather, he was mulatto. He was creamy black, but with blue eyes.
Prince and Pancakes.
It's not easy to nail. You go through the Caribbean, everything gets mixed up, dude.
Yeah,
Prince and Pancakes from on Chappelle.
Prince and Pancakes. I don't remember that one.
It's when they were. I think it's when they were playing basketball, and afterwards, Prince made pancakes.
Yeah, right.
I remember that one.
Yeah, he kicked their ass.
Wayne Brady one. I remember the Wayne Brady one. That was funny.
But the point is, I mean, I don't really think that we need to. We don't, but obviously they're using. I think the media and the mainstream is using these narratives to obviously cause more division. That's why we're seeing these racial tensions. That's why you're seeing people act the way that they are acting today. And I think that 1-2 punch with that delayed news story about what happened in Charlotte and then what happened with Charlie Kirk, it was just like, I don't think America's going to truly recover from this.
It's not the division. Yeah, the sort of like the wedge has been started to be driven in. But here's the thing, Rice, I think that we do still have some choices. And I think that people who have a voice on the matter, it's the responsible thing to do to just let people know that they can just slow it down and give the unseen hand an opportunity to show itself. Because if there are whatever political factions or billionaire donors or some central planning committee or the Freemasons, out of London or whatever, if there's some shadowy group that's trying to coordinate all this, then you give them enough time and enough rope, and they will eventually come out to the open and hang themselves, right? But if we're patient enough and we exhibit enough genuine love to other people, I don't think they stand much of a chance. I think we actually are smarter than them.
I think love conquers all, but I just don't think there's enough love right now for us to conquer all.
Well, there you go. It's not about being smart then. It is about just showing that love.
I think it's over. When Keep Me Real goes wrong. Yeah, that was.
Where is this one at though? This one has. I think this has to be another channel, doesn't it?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, I think it's over, man. I'm sorry. I hate to be the pessimistic one here, but I see that we've crossed the Rubicon, and that Rubicon was crossed. I want to say when Biden was elected, and then toward the tail end, when basically we find out for 4 years. A non-elected group of individuals were truly running the country, like truly, like not deep state, pulling strings here and leaning on this group, and even
the person who was literally touching the button on the auto
pack. That's what I'm saying. Like when I found that out, bro, I said it's over. It literally is over, bro. Like it's over.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here? I don't know. But Trump getting in, the problem with Trump getting in, I voted for him, I'm for him, and all that good stuff. The problem is he's got 4 years and 4 years only. This shit that we're in is so
technically
deep.
It's less than 4 years, and I don't if we want to call it 3 years and a couple months, I don't think we got that long, and we can make that the last thing.
Yeah, okay. All right.
We can make this our last topic, Trump's health. Okay. It's obviously been an issue. People talking about his hands bruising, his feet swelling.
Yeah.
Is he having health problems that's going to cause him to die? Is he overworking himself and not taking care of himself where he's going to die? People say he doesn't sleep.
He doesn't. He gets like 4 hours of sleep.
I don't know what's happening, but it doesn't seem great. And then we're stuck with JD Vance. And then I don't know. I haven't looked enough to see the succession. Maybe somebody who's watching this will know who would take the VP spot if Vance became president.
Well, he would serve out the term, as acting president.
I think it's
and
Rubio.
They would hold elections as usual.
No. There's a succession. They don't hold an election for the vice president. When the president dies and the vice president becomes the president, the next person in line becomes the vice president. I think that's Marco Rubio.
I thought it was not Secretary of Defense.
House.
Isn't that Marco Rubio?
No, that's Pete Hegseth. But Marco Rubio's House Speaker, right?
Yeah, so it's House Speaker who becomes next.
There you go.
Who's in line?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's great. I don't love that, man.
That's what I'm saying. I don't love that lineup, why I think it's over. It's just no help. It's just no hope because post Trump, either way, he finishes out or not, doesn't matter. It's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, again, I said it earlier in the stream, and I'm going to say it, I think it's worth repeating again.
Yeah, you're right. It is Speaker of House.
When we got Vance in as VP, I think that we knew there was a non-zero chance that he would be finishing this administration's turn in the White House. Like, Trump is an old guy, and look,
he's an old guy,
do all
right?
The blood tests, he can do all the whatever,
right.
He can say whatever he wants, and you can be sharp all the way to the end. It doesn't mean your body isn't falling apart.
Right.
So, like, yeah, there's a non-zero chance there. Plus, they took all those attempts on Trump's life. There are people who would rather that he's not the guy. And then when they were both sitting down with Volodymyr Zelensky, why did the VP talk? Why was the vice president of our country talking to the president of another country on national television? They've been prepping us for the entire time. They need us to be ready for when that change
Rubio too, right? It was a 1-2 punch. Both of them. Think about it.
Yeah.
They were both going at him.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. There's no other administration in which that's happened. They don't, and with Trump in particular, Trump's a pretty proud guy, and he's very, very capable with that level of negotiating. Why would he let somebody else talk for him? That was entirely staged to help us get comfortable with the idea that those guys will be running the country.
You're talking about some conditioning.
Yes, and predictive programming, which we've got tons of. I made a recommendation for us to bring on a guest that can talk more about predictive programming and a little bit of Bible talk too. What's that?
I followed him when he actually followed me back.
Because he's awesome. And yeah, and he's pretty great. But a little bit of Bible talk and all he so this guy, to give you a sense, he predicted the January 6th event using the Bible only as a predictive text.
Yeah, there's some. I was telling him there's some people talk about like I've heard the term the Torah code, just where things have been encoded in the Torah, and I guess it could be in a sense encoded in the New Testament, but I took this as more of an Old Testament encoding. But supposedly you can predict a lot of things that are going on, or even go back and look at things that have happened, and somehow because of the alphanumeric relationship to like some of the Aramaic Hebrew letters. But yeah, and then so, I mean, a lot of people, especially MAGA people, are kind of thinking that J.D. Vance, regardless if Donald Trump stays alive and finishes his presidency, is going to be the next in line. It's kind of like the chosen one. So it looks like even after this, it seems like unless something drastic happens, the Republican Party is probably going to be behind J.D. Vance as being the presidential candidate in 2028.
Yeah, 28. So who's going to run on the left?
Gavin
Newsom's
already
shit show
winning.
over there.
Newsom's already winning, and he's prepped for it. And he's a damn good. I don't like him, but he's a damn good politician. He understands.
He's winning what?
It's almost like he's a devil.
He is the devil. He's winning what, Bryce?
He's winning polls on the left side as far as
that
being
something is wrong.
Presidential candidate.
Something is really like the MK Ultra stuff is literally them.
I definitely don't see
they're
that.
brainwashed.
I definitely don't see that Donald Trump Jr. is going to be in. Except
how could you be winning and running and at the head of a poll when your state is in the state, no pun intended, that it's in? California is. I don't understand
a lot of Californians still like Gavin Newsom.
I
mean, even
man.
someone like
this
Bill
is why
Maher,
it's over, right?
Bill Maher,
This
who's
is
had
why
a
it's
lot of
over.
problem with regulation, because he complains about trying to get solar power and how it took so long.
Right, I
for him to get solar power.
remember hearing about that. Yeah,
but he's always said, he suggested that Gavin Newsom, he actually said Newsom and Fetterman.
Oh my God.
That was
Fetterman
his suggestion. And
Fetterman,
then now that he's polling high, Bill Maher has come out and said, see, I was right. Because that's really all, like right now, that's all the Democratic Party has is Gavin Newsom. I don't know enough about these other politicians. Yeah, the New York City, is it the mayor race? It's not governor of New York. I think it's a mayor of New York City. What is that? Zohar?
It's
Zohar?
Yeah, mayor.
Zohar.
Yeah, mayoral race.
That's an interesting one. AOC and Sanders.
What do you think about
Sanders,
that?
Sanders he's got the same shelf life as Trump right now.
Yeah, age, he's terming out. He's terming out.
Yeah, I definitely don't see Clinton. And I'm pretty sure Kamala Harris is not even going to be in the conversation.
Kamala Harris is going to remain unemployed for the rest of her natural life, I think. I don't know what she has left.
Yeah.
Oh, DC. We see all the shit going on with the National Guard. I called Trek.
Love it.
Trek with 2 Ks. I'll say 2 Ks this time.
Okay.
He actually retweeted my tweet about us streaming today. I talked to him about a week and a half ago, and he's been kind of promoted in the National Guard, so he's no longer dealing with that type of a situation, so he doesn't know. He doesn't know anything. And I asked him if there's something going on, because I think legally it can only be done for 30 days. There may have to be legislation done beyond the 30 days. And I'm like, if there is a crime problem in not the most crime-ridden city, do they think they're going to still be able to solve a problem in less than 30 days? So what the hell is actually going on? I thought something else might actually be happening. Like maybe people were going to be arrested. I didn't know.
No,
I don't know.
No, again, I have to commend Trump for another good move. You know, people are sick and tired of this stuff, man. I'm sick and tired of it. Like, these cities are...
That makes me happy, Donald Muhammad. It makes me more than happy to know that you can't believe.
Got to go to volleyball game, but I'll check out. Okay, yeah, all right.
This is another death dupe move. I despise Donald at this point. That individual is sicking me too, like just to the point that I just want nothing to do with him. I've blocked him on social media. I think you know. I think you have to know.
No, I mean, I know he's very controversial and is always going at both of us.
And I've tried. I've tried, and then he just keeps fucking pissing me off. So I cut out the bullshit now. I trim
Is this person human?
Yeah, but I don't know what kind of human.
I would say so. I don't think he's a bot at all.
It's definitely not a bot. It's not a bot, but it's not somebody that I want to conversate with. He can watch your show on Blood all he wants.
Okay.
Because he can't comment on any of my shit, and I blocked him. I just want nothing to do with his idiocracy. I have no tolerance anymore for.
Okay, so what I was saying was, Rice, I'm loving what Trump is doing in D.C. I'm loving that he's going to Memphis. Again, this is why I think the shit is over, bro. My people are mad for help, for getting help. They don't want help. They want the shit to stay the way it is. They want the killings, black on black violence to continue to happen. This is what they want. This is why it's over. There is no hope.
Is this Detroit?
What do you mean? Is this
like?
Detroit?
Is Detroit like this? Is Detroit like want the violence to continue? The hoods of Detroit.
I can't say that about Detroit, no.
Because that's like the closest big city to you. So I mean,
yeah, and
what you're saying, I don't
have my pulse on the inner city like that anymore. But I just don't get it, man. I don't see how you could fight. How the people in Chicago could fight having help reduce crime. I just don't. It makes no sense.
The Treasury's not fenced up by Trump. The Treasury is fenced up because there's supposedly spending something like $3 billion on remodeling an old building. And nationalizing the Fed isn't a good thing either, because if you guys want to really talk about fascism,
I agree.
But again, I thought there was a lot more evidence.
That's the direction we're going. We're going fascism.
There was more evidence of that before under COVID than because didn't Donald Trump tell Boeing or tell Lockheed Martin or one of those companies that they couldn't get any sort of federal stimulus unless there was ownership of the said companies given to the United States?
So what it was to put black folks like that. What it was they were looking for bailout money, and he's like, wait a minute, you want taxpayer dollars? Okay, so if we're gonna give you taxpayer dollars, and you're gonna give us shares of your company, I'm cool. Like, I understand that.
Yeah, but that does sound like
but by definition, that is fascism.
That's reverse fascism. That's the corporations.
No. By definition, it's socialism. It's not fascism, though.
Okay, right.
I thought fascism is the corporations and governments coming together.
No, that's socialism. So socialism would be like, where you redistribute ownership out to the people, but you do so in a way that's proctored by government.
Right, and that scenario was a socialist move. Yeah,
exactly. Fascism would be like maybe some of the crony capitalist socialist stuff that the Nazis did, where they didn't own anything actually. The Socialist Workers' Party of Germany at the time, they weren't actually as socialist as they seemed. They allowed for private ownership, but they told them, they took their marching orders from Hitler.
So I would attribute what Trump has recently done with Intel as a step in the fascist direction. Would you agree, Seth?
We're moving more towards socialism if that's the case. And then, and fascism. The thing about fascism is it's a little bit harder to tie down than people want to believe. So
when governments own part of corporations, that's part of, I thought that falls underneath of fascism.
It does. It's a Venn diagram. It's a Venn diagram.
Whether it's complete ownership or partial ownership, if government has stakes in corporations outside of its own nation's interests, that would be forms of what I understood fascism to be.
True, but it's a Venn diagram. It overlaps. Socialism and fascism overlaps a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, So I think the best example of it is the National Socialist Workers' Party of Germany, aka the Nazis. Like, they were socialist in name, fascist in actions. So, that did require that they have a really strong say in the outcomes of industry. Actually, having ownership stake in industry, though, there are plenty of nations that offer subsidies. Like South Korea, you wouldn't have a Samsung phone. You wouldn't have any of these really great Korean cars that everyone's driving these days. You wouldn't have half of your appliances if it were not for the subsidies that the South Korean government gives to all those companies. Do they have a small ownership in them? Yes, they do. They are more of a socialist country in that regard. But no, they don't. Like I don't think people who live in South Korea would consider themselves to be living under fascism. Their livelihood comes from redistributed tax dollars that go into industries, and then require that they behave a certain way, or they don't get the subsidies. So it's like you said, blood. It's a Venn diagram, and like sometimes you're a few degrees away from having something be a full blown fascism, but like you can push really far with that overlap of government ownership.
Well, it might be like that on purpose because it's hard to pin down things. Because if you read about pure fascism and you read about pure socialism and you read about pure communism, I don't think that we have any actual true examples in real world use case that actually applies pure socialism, pure communism. So it may be common hybrids, and it really makes things confusing as to understanding and comprehending what's actually going on. And I think, again, that could be on purpose.
Oh, no, totally. I mean, when this goes through, think about this. Trump will be more of a democratic socialist than Bernie was.
Yep.
Indeed,
is like,
not in words.
this is what, again, the pendulum didn't go all the way to the right and it's coming, it's going to swing back. It just jumped all the way around to the left again. It teleported.
Potato. I mean, that's kind of like, I have thought of them as being like just branches of the same tree. And that's why it's really easy to kind of intermingle and find confusion. Okay, so look, man, we're at the almost 2-hour mark. We're going to be coming back at this tomorrow for the FOMC meeting. So make sure you guys are being aware of that. We're going to be starting to stream somewhere between 1:30 and 1:45. We'll get that figured out. But we will be streaming tomorrow for the FOMC meeting for 3 Wise Man Wednesday on a non-Taco Tuesday edition. You guys have any final thoughts you want to add, man? Blood?
Man, just follow me on Twitter, CryptoBlood_. I'm streaming live on my second channel, Red Nugent 2. That's TOO. And I do my trading live streams every morning on the main channel. So come check me out. Bloodalytics.com. Check it out. As my guy House of Trade said, we're printing money, baby. We're printing money over there. So come check us out.
Nice. And again, I think we have links for each other's socials and each other's video descriptions. So make sure you're following all the above. Seth, final thoughts?
Oh, just that I don't think that Charlie Kirk died in vain. I think he did tremendous work, and if this is the one episode where I get to praise his life's work at reaching out that olive branch and helping people to live a better life and think about things that they didn't previously consider, we should all be so lucky to have people remember us like that. He did great work, and hopefully somebody in the audience is feeling like when they listen to the 3 wise men talk together, they similarly change their mind about something important and live a better life.
Well said. If people want to follow me, I'm at RiceTVX. You got links for everything on my page. You can follow me on both my YouTube channels, RiceTVX and Rice Against the Grain. You can find me on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute. You can follow me on my website, ricetvx.com. You could join as a private member and catch all the private videos that are behind the paywall and support what I do. Again, we're going to come back at you tomorrow. It's been a great show, man. I really miss talking with you guys. I really hope people enjoyed this live stream. It kind of felt like therapy for me because I
could see you were excited about doing today's stream.
The fact that one, we haven't talked about cryptocurrency or mentioned Bitcoin, which has been beautiful, and just catching up with you guys, man. I mean, I really enjoyed the conversations that we have. And I think that it's important that people have these conversations. And I'd like, hopefully, for content creators like ourselves and others that are doing this, that it's an example and lights other people to have conversations. And I definitely encourage people to try to talk to people that they disagree with things with and try to find that common bond. One thing I think I would like to leave people with is, this is something I've been trying to change a lot with myself, is instead of looking at the differences that we see with people, let's look at the commonalities. I think I've been in this rut of looking at things in a negative fashion. And when I see somebody, I think of how I may disagree with them or something to that effect. And I would like to be the change I want to see in this world. And I think it's better for me to try to think positively, because there's something positive, I think, about most people, or maybe during some person's point in their life. But I just would like to see people be the change they want to see in this world. If we actually started treating people how we individually want to be treated, just imagine, it would be beautiful. But I think in relation to something that Seth said earlier, in order with the fourth turning, because if you go back to the fourth turning and you see what the first turning is really good. Mm-hmm. But in order to get to the first turning, you have to destroy to rebuild. Mm-hmm. So the fourth turning becomes necessary for us to rebuild society in a positive manner, only for us to repeat the cycle again and have another fourth turning. That's social. The study of sociology, not socialism, but sociology. People are funny. As Jim Morrison said, people are strange.
People are strange.
They are definitely strange. Anything you guys want to add as I'm getting ready to close this off here?
That's it, man.
Yeah, no, folks, just tune back in. We're not done yet.
Let's decide. Are we doing 1:30 or 1:45 tomorrow?
1:45.
Okay,
Yes.
1:45 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. That's about 45 minutes before Chirp House speaks. We'll talk a little bit about crypto, I guess.
Yeah,
I do have some things to say.
Yeah, that's good.
Appreciate you guys. Again, links are down below for all of our socials in our video descriptions. If you haven't smashed that like button, be sure to take an opportunity to smash that like button. If you're watching on X, please repost this. More eyes on the prize would be greatly appreciated. With that being said, we're out.
Out.
Yo, it's crypto blood, Detroit flow, screaming from the D, knowing what to show, indicators are wrong point, OG since 12, invested in trade, living life like a pro, I'm Rucker, Jerry, it's just bloods do, bad motherfucker in a good way, boo, got my eyes on the charts, ain't no time to sleep. Get that money, gotta keep it creep. That's my crypto blood, just the toasters on the line. Stacking my coin, got the market on my mind. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum too. Cash is king, but I'm looking for a new move. I know the culture of the markets like the streets. Got my finger on the pulse, can't nobody beat. I see the trends, I see the flow. Got my strategies in place, you know.
Yo, it's MyBiz on the mic coming through the mist, talking crypto and privacy things you can't dismiss. Use hoops, wild jungle, I'm the lion, can't resist. Guiding through the blockchain, teaching about the risk. Mind your biz, don't miss. Eeny, mighty biz, we on a privacy blitz. Stepping in the mix, dropping knowledge with no tricks. YouTube to the wallet, keep it tight, no leaks. Click clack, I hack the facts, that's how I attack. From Bitcoin to Monero, stacking privacy back. YouTube's got eyes, but I'm the cloak in disguise. MYB on the rise, educating the wise. Mind your biz, don't miss. Eeny, mighty biz, we on the privacy blitz. Step in the mix, dropping knowledge with no tricks. YouTube to the wallet, keep it tight, no leaks.
Rice TVX, the Mike's live wire. American Pitbull, real gold buyer. Sound money advocate, rights defender. In the crypto arena, he's the top contender. From the gritty streets of the digital age, Rice lays wisdom, chapter and page. Silver, gold, he scores only the bold. Land, life, and liberty, these values hold. Constitution, deep dive, knowledge revival. Navigate the system, critical for survival. Rice engraved like inscriptions on metal. Pitbull in the game, lead foot on the pedal.